all of your body weight from one side and rolling it and shifting it and throwing it through to the other side. When you're working Lobtics and you're just working the expression of the body,
violence destroys. Weaponizing is the counter strategies to violent criminal assault. Hey, I'm Greg LaBeouf, aka The Violence Guy, and I'm sharing with you how I went from the victim of a brutal attempted murder to mastering the tool of violence and protecting myself and family, and how you can do the same from the safety and comfort of your own home. Welcome to Weaponizing DIY.
let's start off learning to move our body 8 different ways. Grab your single stick and let's jump into slice number 1. Okay, slice number 1 is what we call a Lobtic. A Lobtic is any attack, any stroke. Now remember, just because I have the single stick doesn't mean that this only applies to a single stick. I could have my knife, I could have a machete, I could have a bottle in my hand, I could have a pen in my hand, it doesn't matter. A Lobtic is any stroke, any angle, any stroke that crosses your center line. So, the single stick is in my right hand right now, my right leg's forward, again, it wouldn't matter. The right hand, right leg. The stick is on the right side of my body. The stick crosses to the left side of the body. It breaks the plane of the center line. That is a Lobtic. Anything that goes from one side of the body and goes to the other side of the body. Of course, angle 2, I can come back. Now, if you've seen a lot of the stroke patterns, you already know when you're holding your single stick, make sure nice tight fist. Leave a punya end, which just means a punching end. So you're never down too far on the stick. Always leave 2 to 3 inches, 4 inches. It's going to vary a little bit depending on your hand size and comfort levels and stick length. But always leave about 3-4 inches at the bottom of that. That is going to be used for punching and other things, choking, lots of different stuff. Nice tight grip on the stick. Okay, you're always thinking about the top kind of 3-4 inches of the stick. That's the impact zone. Okay, so you don't want to think about hitting in the mid stick. You're thinking about hitting on the top 3-4 inches. Okay, all you're doing is basically this. Think of your knuckles would represent where the edge of a blade would be. Okay, so the front edge of the knuckles represents the blade. So to work a Lobtic, you're going to take the stick, load it up on the right or left side of the body, and you're going to swing it across the body. A couple basic ones are diagonals. Downward, downward. Forehand, starting from kind of head collarbone down to the hip, and then head collarbone, head collarbone down to the hip. So all I want to do, most of you are probably familiar with this, these are basic X's, down and down. All we're doing is crossing center line, which means we are executing a Lobtic stroking pattern. Now, if I can go diagonal, I can go horizontal. So again, what you recognize here is we're not worried about angles of attack. We're not saying, oh, this is an angle 1, this is an angle 2, this is an angle 3, 4. What we're doing is identifying the stroking pattern as something that goes from one side of the body across to the other side of the body. Now, it could go from one side of the body low and come back up to high. It could start low on the forehand and come up high. Makes no difference. All we're worried about right now is that we are crossing the center line. Okay, so you pick up your stick and you think about Lobtics, not angles of attack, expressing and moving your body from one side to the other. Now when you're doing this, make sure you're allowing your feet and your hips to transfer. This is what you're expressing, is taking all of your body weight from one side and rolling it and shifting it and throwing it through to the other side. When you're working Lobtics and you're just working the expression of the body, don't worry again right now about all of the fine details. Pick the stick up and just think about, with one hand, nice tight fist, no loosening your fingers, and just think about if I had this tool and I just came across and down and up and down and back and across, and just allow yourself to move your body and express through this pattern. Okay? That's the first slice. Okay? A couple of the small points that I'll make. Do not cement your feet. This is still a Lobtic. It is crossing from one side of the body to the other. However, you are resisting the expression of this pattern. Why? Because I'm planting my feet and I'm using just my arm. You can see that it doesn't feel natural. Like it doesn't look natural, doesn't feel natural, because it's not. Let the stroking pattern, let the movement that I'm showing you, teach your body how to move. Don't resist it. Planting your feet in concrete and doing this is you resisting this expression. This expression of going from one side of the body to the other side, that feels natural. And if you really watch me right now, I'm not trying to put a lot of really nice body mechanics into this because I don't want you to over-focus on that. I want you just to focus in on expressing by coming across the center line, cross the center line, cross the center line. That's what I want you to work. Doesn't say I'm switching my leads, just moving my body. I would go simply with my diagonal X's, my downward X's, and then coming across horizontally at the head level and at the stomach level. And you can go even down to the legs. And then diagonals. If you want to go, you're doing downward diagonals, downward Lobtics, go upward Lobtics. Downward, upward, upward, downward. That's it. Moving the body, crossing the center line, that's your Lobtic. All right, give it a shot.